Morning guys, Van Vlog 6. I'm a self-employed welder, my name's Brendan. But while I'm driving around going to my jobs, I may as well talk some nonsense, see if I can get some subscribers, see if I can build this channel, and eventually we'll be doing some activities as well. You'll have to bear with me, just driving. Yeah, so we'll be doing some motorbiking, camping, some pyrotechnicians, so we're doing some fireworks, coming to welding jobs, just lots of different things, mountain biking, social events, go-karting. But for now, I'm just gonna have to do some van vlogs just to get some subscribers, get my channel moving in the algorithm. So today's story, what are we going to talk about? I'll tell you what we'll talk about. There's a couple of things. I went on a European tour. I got invited to a Polish wedding by my friend. So just tell you quickly the itinerary. So I started in Berlin because that's the closest airport to the Polish town on the Polish border. So I landed in Berlin, had 2 nights in Berlin in a hostel. It's more like a hotel hostel, it's not like a proper backpackers hostel. And bear with me while I'm driving. Safety first. Yeah, so I'm on 2 nights in Berlin, got the train over to Poland, met my friends. We had 3 days at this Polish wedding. First day was just like in the town. Went out on a night out, met everybody. I already knew a few of the Polish, but not many. And met a few English as well who was there. Not met them before. Then we all got on these coaches and went into this forest and had a 2-day Polish wedding. That was crazy. Fantastic, by the way. I actually think the Poles do weddings better than English. It lasted for 2 days and they said that was a small one. On the second day, which was a Sunday, they said we'll only start drinking at 11 o'clock in the morning because the English are here. Normally we start at 9. Anyway, so we had loads and loads of vodka, Nastrovia, bit of a wild party. Then I had a train to catch because I was going all the way across Poland. I was in North Poland and I had a train to catch so the town is like a little bit south from the highest northern point. Well, it was 70 kilometers south. So I had to go back to this town from the forest, get onto a 2-car train up to a place called Szczecin. Szczecin is on the Baltic Sea. Just as we got into the town after this wedding, we saw the train go past, so I missed the train. So this Polish guy, they organised it, my friends. This Polish guy, I had to pay him, and he took me all the way to Szczecin. It took about an hour or so. Went to Szczecin to catch the main train, the big train, all the way down to Krakow, however you want to say it. So I had 3 nights booked in Krakow at a party hostel, a proper backpackers hostel. So I got on this train, it were 8 hours. It were 8 hours long, this train. I got there at 10 o'clock at night. Sorry, I've just gone straight in. Anyway, I got to this party hostel, it was called the Mosquito Party Hostel. Got there at 10 o'clock at night. It was busy, really busy. This was 2016, by the way. I was 36, I'm 45 now. And they just had the drinking games and they're all going out on a night out, all as a group. They said, come on Brendan, come out with us. I said, no, I said, I'm too rough on this wedding. I said, I'm having a night off tonight, and I just stayed there on my own. I had a bit of vodka left from the wedding. Vodka was like water by this time. And then, anyway, the next couple of nights I went out with them. So the first thing, what springs to mind is, on this next 2 or 3 days where I stayed at this hostel, I was sat in the common room, and it was really, really good hostel. So you're with everyone at night, you were with a lot of people for breakfast, and it were really friendly communal hostel. It was fantastic. And I'm talking to this French guy. I met loads of people there. I'm still friends with him now. They're all on my socials. And I'm talking to this French guy, John, from Brest in France. I says, what's your plan then? I said, I'm going round on this massive tour, which I forgot to tell you about my itinerary, but I'll do it later. And he says, I don't know where I'm going yet. And he's got his laptop on in front of him. I says, what do you mean you don't know where you're going? He says, surely you've booked it, because what I did, I booked about 11 or 12 stops in loads of different countries. Started in Berlin, went into Poland, into Slovakia, into Austria, into Germany, into Switzerland, into Germany, to France, and then it ended in Amsterdam. So for me, I had all my hostels booked. I had to be here at this certain time, and he says, oh, I don't know where I'm going yet. I says, what do you mean? It was foreign to me. It was new. Like, how can you not know where you're going? You've got to have it booked, haven't you? And he says, oh, I'm just looking on trains and deciding which country to go to next. And I didn't realise this is part of the education of travelling. I didn't realise that you could just go on the internet, Hostel World, Booking.com, Trainline.com, whatever, and you just book a ticket there. Book a hostel when you arrive in the city. Oh, this were all new to me. Fantastic. And so I like the freedom what John were giving himself, and I actually implied it in Portugal and implied it in Vietnam, and yeah, so that was one thing what were new to me. Another thing, so I had 3 days partying there, and then I had to get on this overnight train from Krakow at 10 o'clock at night, and it got to Bratislava in Slovakia for 6 in the morning. I said, how much is a bed? So these rooms have like a few beds in them, and you have to share them with strangers. And I thought, I don't want to share it with any stranger. I've been partying for a week or more. I just want to have one room to myself and just sleep for 8 hours. I need this sleep. I said, how much is it? She said, €106 for all 3 beds. So yeah, I'll take it. So I got onto this overnight train. I got into my room, I put my suitcase there. I was just thinking, right, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to enjoy this, I'll get up in the morning, I'm fresh for tomorrow. And just as that were happening, this Englishman popped his head round the corner with 2 bottles of beer. This is like 10:15 at night. Hey up, mate, do you want a beer? I'm like, oh no, I'm trying to get away from the alcohol, I'm rough. I said, yeah, go on then, mate. So I'm chatting with him. He's on this tour somewhere. I didn't stay in contact with him. He was a nice bloke, though. And then next to us were these 2 Australian guys who were doing all the Second World War stuff. So they popped in. They had some beers, and we were next to the food cart with all where you could buy beers from. I had vodka in my bag. And then there were some Canadians. They had a kid with them called Brandon, actually, little boy. My name's Brendan. And it was just like, so we partied till about 5 o'clock in the morning on this overnight train. It's typical like Orient Express, where you've got all your sleeping compartments, and one side's a corridor. And we partied in the corridor. We had the window down. Oh, we went all the way through Poland and Slovakia. So I never got no sleep. And then we're in Bratislava, and to be honest, my final thought is, it was the best €106 I ever wasted. It was just a fantastic night where, yeah, it cost €106 to not sleep, but it was just the randomness of meeting everybody. So I had one night in Bratislava, and then I went to Vienna, but I met the 2 Australian guys in Vienna, and we all got drunk together. And they said they could drink the English under the table, so I just kept buying sambucas and got them smashed. And they couldn't even speak that end of it, and then I had to walk back through Vienna about 1 o'clock in the morning, back to my hostel. Yeah, it's just crazy times.